Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Yellow. Last time we finally made our way here to Cinnabar Island and were able to revive the two fossils that we obtained over the course of our adventure. This time we are going to be checking out the burned out building on Cinnabar Island. I don't want to waste any time, let's head right on inside. This music is so creepy, but so good. In one of these pillars, there's a hidden item. I'm not sure which one, though, so let's just check them all, and eventually we're bound to find it. At least, yes, there we go. We have a free moonstone. Not of much use to me, but definitely worth pointing out. Anyway, this here is the Pokemon Mansion. Very interesting place right here, and I forgot my repel wore off last episode. Derp. Alright. Now, the wild Pokemon in here are actually decently powerful. So honestly, I'd recommend switching in a stronger Pokemon and using a repel if possible. I think I'm going to switch in Blastoise for this one. And let's head in here and use our Super Repel. Now it is worth noting, this is the area in which you can get Growlithe that I mentioned last episode. Also in Yellow, you can actually find Ditto in this area as well, which is really cool. Anyway, I think we're just going to explore this mansion a little bit and see how far we can get. Unfortunately, heading down here, you are going to notice there are a lot of locked doors in this area, not too unlike the ones that you see in the Sylph Company. However, your key from the Sylph Company is not going to work in this area. Instead, a new gimmick is introduced right around here. Also, can we use this bed for anything? No, we cannot. Right here we have a secret switch. Press it? Why not? Who wouldn't? There we go. Trip that switch and that will cause the doors on this floor to actually change. You will notice now this one is open. Not much in here, but still definitely very interesting. Unfortunately, that one over there is still shut tight. So the only way we can really go on this floor is up. Now, this area is really cool because there are a lot of research notes hidden around. But what's also around are people like this. I can't get out. This whole place is one big puzzle. Guess what? There are burglars in this area, because of course it's a burned out mansion. Who wouldn't want to head in here and see if they could score some free loot? So I think what we ought to do is take out these trainers as quickly as we possibly can, because they're probably up to no good. Now the one nice thing about burglars, as you might imagine, if you let them mess around in an area for long enough, they are going to have a lot of money on them. So when you defeat a burglar in this area, they are going to drop a lot of cash that you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Alright, Charmeleon faints, and we get a big bit of money. Oh no, my bag of loot. Yeah, over 3,000 Pokemon dollars. Good stuff indeed. Alright, and Repel's effect wears off, because of course it does. Alright. Anyway, right around this way you will notice there's actually a balcony, and it goes to the outside, which is really neat. Kind of detail you wouldn't necessarily expect. Also, as a side effect, like, every single area outside the map on this floor is blue, which is kind of funny. July 10th. We christened the newly discovered Pokemon Mew. Very interesting. Very cryptic. Very cool indeed. And it looks like we got some real powerful wild Pokemon if it can oh my god, level 40. That's a lot. Dang. Got some real powerful Pokemon in here that can pose a bit of a challenge if you're not careful. Anyway, right over here we have another book. July 5th, Guyana, South America. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. Very cool stuff. Interesting stuff indeed. Anyway, right over here, we have calcium, which is a decent enough item on its own. And then, once we've done that, there's really not a whole lot else to explore. So I think what we want to do is we want to head back over this way, because, as you will notice, there's another statue. A secret switch. Press it, who wouldn't? And that should open a couple of doors on this floor, and man, there are some really strong wild Pokemon in this area. Like, that's crazy. Although I guess that means this is technically a decent place to grind. Anyway, this door is open, and there's a stair that heads upwards, and I think, oh wow, this door is actually still shut. That's unfortunate. I guess we have to trip a switch elsewhere in the mansion for that door to open. Actually, no, that was open before, wasn't it? Yeah, that was open before, so I guess the switch shut this one, which is definitely worth keeping in mind. Also, I feel like that was not 200 steps. Maybe I'm just crazy. Anyway, you know, looking at the map, I think we want to head up the other staircase first. There's a staircase right around this way, and it looks like this will actually open up into a really secluded portion of the mansion. This place is, like, huge. Indeed it is, like, huge, good sir. We have another burglar right here, so we want to take him out as quick as possible. He whips out a level 38 Ninetales, which is pretty insane. Blastoise might be able to take this guy out in one shot. Not entirely positive, though. Anyway. Ah, darn it. Thought we were gonna get it, and then I could just sort of segue right out of it. Alright, anyway, there is another diary in this little secluded room right here, which is very interesting. I think we're going to want to read that one too, because I think the couple that we found so far are definitely quite interesting. February 6th, Mew gave birth. We named the newborn Mewtwo. Interesting indeed. And right here, we have a hidden Max Revive. Really, really, really good item. You want to grab that as quickly as you possibly can. Anyway, I wasn't even paying attention to what item we picked up right there. Help me list, it was a Max Potion. Very nice. Now we can head down this stairway and up the next one, and I have to say, I got a bit of a story for you guys about this area. I have a personal history with the Pokemon Mansion and Pokemon Yellow version. I can guarantee you that this story is true, regardless of how much you don't want to believe the veracity of this tale. I can guarantee you it happened, but it did happen quite a long time ago, so some of the details are fuzzy. Anyway, I was going through this area, much as I am now. There we have an iron. And really strange things began to happen. Wild Pokemon in the area, instead of showing up with normal sprites like this, would show up with corrupt sprites. They randomly started to do this to my game roughly halfway through this area. For some reason that I cannot easily explain. Anyway, gonna flip this switch right here, and some seriously creepy things happened as a result. So anyway, the wild Pokemon would appear, and they would be basically a big square of just garbled graphics. I have no idea why this is. I was able to get decently far in the mansion while this was going on, but I think what happened is either I whited out or the game crashed or something. Because the next part of this memory that I can easily recall, because this happened when I was like 11, so it was like a decade ago. I recall being in Fuchsia City after that, so either I lost and respawned there somehow, or the game crashed and I had to reset. But anyway, I was in Fuchsia City in front of the Pokemon Center after this happened, and I decided I was gonna, you know, save the game and quit, because I was genuinely freaked out by this point. And so I went to go save, and anyone who saves in Generation 1 knows that you hit save, and it'll say, do you want to save? You hit yes, and it just saves. However, when I went to save, it asked me if I was sure I wanted to save, and after I hit yes, it gave me that whole thing about warning, a previous save file already exists. If you save over that one, it'll be deleted. And that was obviously, like, not correct, because it's not like I had started a new game, because that's basically the text that it will give you if you start a new game and try and save the new game. But I figured in my mind, I'm like, well, if it's going to delete the old data, the new data, which is the latest version of this playthrough, will be replaced, right? So I figured saving would be fine. So I saved the game anyway, turn it off, come back later, and the file is gone. Completely gone. Also, what is the point of this room? I really do not know. But yeah, the file just poof, evaporated, completely just out of existence. Yeah, that was a little traumatizing for little old me, and I'm pretty sure that was the last time I actually played Yellow. Also, if we were to drop down here, because this is actually a drop, it would deposit us on the lower floor. I am curious if the door would be open, at least I hope it would be. Take a tumble, and down we go. And we have this little door right here. Now, that isn't too terribly helpful, as you might have noticed. However, there was another gap up there that I think we're definitely going to want to check out. So let's loop around this way and let us trip this switch again, because I guess the switch somehow resets whenever we leave the floor. Not sure how that works in an in-universe sense, but I think we'll roll with it. Then we can pop up the stairs, and then I think we have to trip this switch again. And then once we have done that, we may dip around this way, and we may take a tumble this way. This will actually send us all the way down to the first floor, and we have another trainer right here. Who are you? There shouldn't be anyone here. Except for you, I'm assuming. Because, I mean, obviously you definitely have the rights to be here. Alright. Anyway, he's going to send out an Electrode, which is only level 29 for some reason. Seems a little strange, considering how powerful some of the other Pokemon, and especially the wild Pokemon, have been in this area. Alright. Now, I think this is only, like, the 4th trainer in this area. I think this area, in total, only has, like, 6 trainers in it. So honestly, if you have a Repel up and you can mitigate the appearance of most of these wild Pokemon, this area really should not take you all that long, which is really nice, because I'd really like to get through this area in one episode, and considering we've combed over pretty much the entire mansion except for the basement, I think we're going to be alright. So, let us take out this Weezing, and then we should be able to get into the lowest floor of the mansion with little trouble. Ouch indeed, good sir. Now that we've defeated him, we may wrap around this way. And no more room for items. Oh, good. We're officially at that point. Alright, anyway, I guess we can use Calcium. We'll use it on Lapras, since Lapras is a little bit low-leveled. Might as well give it a little bit of an extra boost. We'll also use our Iron. And I think now we should have room for Carbos. You know what? I'm just going to use that immediately just to have the inventory space. There we go. Lots of stat boosts on Lapras, and now we may proceed to the basement, which I think is the largest area in this mansion, the largest floor. But honestly, it's still decently tiny. September 1st. Mewtwo is far too powerful. We have failed to curb its vicious tendencies. Eerie indeed. Worth keeping in mind as we proceed onwards. Uh-oh, where am I now? Looks like this guy is quite lost. I think we should do him a favor, knock him unconscious, and let him magically warp to the last Pokemon Center he visited. Because that makes sense. Alright, so we're going to surf you, and it's looking like we're probably about 15 minutes into this episode, so yeah, I think we can definitely cover this area, this video, even if it does wind up a teeny tiny bit long. We're pretty close to being done, especially since after this guy, there's only one more trainer in the entire building that we have to worry about, and he's not going to be too big of a problem, I don't think. Alrighty. Down goes Ponyta, and Blastoise gets level 40, which is really, really nice. Awoo. Definitely 10 out of 10 dialogue right there. And we may grab TM14. What is that? I don't actually know what that is. It is Blizzard. That is the most powerful Ice-type move, and I'm pretty sure Lapras can learn it. So we really want to keep that in mind going forward. Anyway, we may now wrap through this door right here, and here we have another Wild Raticate with 43, my god. That's a lot. Wow. And we actually can't run from it. That's a little bothersome. There we go. Got away safely. I don't know about safely, but yeah. Anyhow, right here, we have a full restore, which is something you really, really want to pick up. Really, really good item. And then we may wrap around here. That door is now shut, but this door is open. And inside is the last trainer in the entire place. This place is ideal for a lab. You know, sir, something tells me that this place was a lab at some point. What happened to the lab is anybody's guess, but I think some people might have some pretty good theories based on the stuff we read in these diaries. Very creepy. But again, Cinnabar Island is one of the very few places in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow that has a decent amount of lore in it, and I really like the area for that reason. I like lore in games, just histories of worlds and things like that. Really, really nice stuff. Cinnabar is probably my favorite area in Red, Blue, and Yellow specifically for that reason. It just has all this information about things that happened in the past that you can really only make educated guesses about, but in a way they also affect the real current world that the game takes place in, which I think is really, really nice. Anyway, just going to horn attack this guy to death, because why not? And he's going to explode. Alright, how much is that going to do? It's going to do a decent amount, critical hit even, which means that was like, what? 800 power move? Sheesh. What was that for? I mean, I'm not the one that caused my own demise. That was all you. Anyway, right over here, is this door shut or open? Because there is a door over here. Anyway, I'm going to toss up a Super Repel. Now, who's in front? Pikachu's in front. I think we can make that work. Alright, this door is also open, so let's head right on over here and grab a rare candy, which I believe brings our stash up to 9, so we're definitely going to want to keep those rare candies in mind. Also, wow, that's a muck. That's interesting. You know, I'm just going to give catching this a fair whirl because I'm pretty sure we don't actually have enough room in our inventory for the rest of the items in this area. So I think I'm going to at least chuck some Pokeballs at it, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't, we will have some space free in our inventory. Ow. And of course he disables like the one good move I have. Alright, let's try Thunder Wave. Just gonna get a nice little paralysis right there. And what do we have? We actually don't have a whole lot of Pokeballs on us. Honestly, if this was a game in which shiny Pokemon could appear, I would be a lot more studious about carrying Pokeballs with me. But as it stands right now, I really don't think it's anything I have to worry about. Anyway, Pikachu faints, which means next up to bat is Charizard, and Charizard's not going to have a hard time here. Anyway, let's see if we can manage to catch this thing. I'm doubtful. Yeah, I'm really doubtful we'll actually get it. You know, let's see what Flamethrower does. It misses. Nice. Awesome. Alright. One more Pokeball for good measure. I don't think it's gonna work. Nah, not even close. You know what? I mean, it was definitely worth a shot, and Charizard is poisoned, which is quite unfortunate. Anyway, that door back there is shut tight, which means we need to trip one last switch in order to progress, because who wouldn't? I love how it says who wouldn't. It's like, well, duh, obviously it's a button, you don't know what it does. I mean, it's not like pressing that button will call the police and land you a fine. Anyway, right here is TM22. I think that's a grass-type move. I'm not positive, though. It is Solar Beam. It is a grass-type move. That is a 2-turn attack that charges up on the first turn and unleashes on the second turn. Might teach it to Venusaur, might not, though, because the 2-turn charge-up can be quite risky. Anyway, what we really came here for is the secret key. That is a very, very important item that you're going to want to grab, because it is actually required for story progression. So no, we aren't just in here messing around or anything. That secret key will actually allow us to... Oh. You know what? I'm too lazy to go back and press the thing. That secret key will allow us to get into the gym. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use one of our 5 escape ropes, and... I am lazy. There we go. Now, that one door in the lower right corner of the first floor, if you manage to get to that point with it unlocked, it will actually take you right out the front entrance anyway, which is really nice. Anyway, gonna head in here real quick and heal our Pokemon. And then I think we will be good to end things off. I will also deposit those 2 TMs in the PC. And with that, I think we are going to end things off here. So, this past episode of Pokemon Yellow, we ventured into the Pokemon Mansion. Found out a lot of interesting information about these mysterious Pokemon, Mew and Mewtwo. Who knows, we might meet one on our journey someday. And we also obtained the secret key to allow us inside our 7th Pokemon Gym. And next time on Pokemon Yellow, we are going to be entering the Cinnabar Gym and hopefully taking on Blaine. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Futera 化石ポケモン高さ 1.8 メートル重さ 59.0 キログラム琥珀に残された恐竜の遺伝子から復活させた高い声で鳴きながら飛ぶ